Before we start today, I want you to think of one word. What word creates the story that you've been telling yourself lately? Maybe it's confident, being stuck, tired, hopeful. Be honest because the story that you repeatedly tell yourself has a strange way of becoming the life that you expect to live. Two people can experience the same setback and walk away with completely different stories. One person says, that proves that I'm not good enough. The other person says, that showed me where I need to grow. Same event, different narrator. And here is the uncomfortable part. That narrator, it's you. Sometimes you become an unreliable storyteller. You take one embarrassing moment and you turn it into a permanent identity. I failed the presentation because I'm terrible at public speaking. One person rejected my idea becomes no one values what I have to say. I missed 3 days of exercise. It becomes I never stick with anything. That's quite a leap. We would never watch the first 5 minutes of a movie, walk out of the theater, and then claim we know exactly how it ends. Yet we do that with our own lives all the time. We experience one difficult chapter and then we decide that we already know the ending. I have learned that the most damaging stories are often the ones that sound like the facts. I'm too old. I'm too shy. I always mess up. People like me don't get opportunities like that. Those, they're not facts, they're rehearsed conclusions. And anytime you rehearse long enough, it begins to feel natural, even when it's completely wrong. So let's go back to the word that maybe you thought of when we started. Is that word describing your current circumstances, or is it silently becoming your identity? There's a difference between saying, I feel discouraged today, and saying, I'm a discouraged person. One describes a moment, the other attempts to write your entire biography. Here's a simple exercise that you can begin starting today. When you catch yourself telling a limited story, add the word yet. I don't know how to do this yet. I'm not comfortable speaking on camera yet. I haven't reached my goal yet. That one small word leaves the door open. It reminds you that the story is still being written. And that is your callback. You're not simply the character in your story, you're also the narrator. You may not control every event, every rejection, every diagnosis, or every unexpected turn, but you can decide what meaning you give to it and what happens in the next scene. My call to action is this: putting down one story that you've been telling yourself that no longer is helping you. Then cross it out. Then write a new version that's truthful, hopeful, focused on your next action. Do not write fantasy, write possibility. Because success often begins when you stop repeating that same story of why you cannot and start creating evidence that you can. So as you move to your day, just ask yourself, is the story that I'm telling myself, is it helping me to move forward, or is it keeping me from being trapped in a chapter that I've already outgrown? Remember, change your story. Mindset matters. Personal growth. Believe in possibilities for you to be a success.